My name is Jonathan Unks, and this is my presentation of the future of diversity in sports for the Diversity in Class or Diversity in Sports online class. So, the first thing for the future of diversity in sports that will impact the future is societal trends. Recently, in like the past, say 10 years, there has been a growing call for diversity and leadership in sports. Examples of this would be, an example of this is the Rooney Rule, which requires that all leadership positions in the NFL, they must have one minority candidate. So it could be a woman, it could be an African American, or it could be a different race. But they must interview at least one minority candidate for leadership positions in the NFL, such as like coaching or GM or something like that. Another reason that society trends have been leaning towards more diversity in sports is athletes have been using their voice for change. Examples of this. One example of this is the Me Too movement. That was, I believe, the mid-2010s. There's a woman coming out about their being sexually assaulted or whatnot, and that helped to lead or get women's voices heard more in all industries, but also sports industry. The BLM movement, obviously that's a more world issue than just sports, but in sports we saw people like LeBron James or Kyrie Irving use their voice to fight for more minority rights and representation and better treatment. And then probably the biggest example is the women's U.S. soccer team, which has been fighting for equal pay or more equal pay to men's soccer, as I feel like they have not been paid fairly comparatively. The biggest challenge for like societal trends is tokenism, which is like bringing in somebody just for the idea and not really in a genuine way. So an example of this would be, as I talked about in the Rooney Rule, how you must interview at least one minority applicant. Bringing in an underqualified minority applicant so that you can have a reason not to hire them would be an example of tokenism, where they are following the Rooney Rule in the way it's written, but not the way it is intended, as they're not truly giving minorities a better chance. Another aspect towards more diversity in sports is tech advancements. So new technology will can help to eliminate bias during the hiring and recruitment process. That's because, in theory at least, technology would it would help to get the most qualified and best candidate regardless of their race, sexuality, or gender. Virtual reality can help to train people to address their biases in an easier way. One potential risk for more technology advancements would be that the mishandlement of data could potentially leak athletes' personal information or just personal information in general. Another risk is that AI's decisions could reinforce existing biases if the biases are in the algorithm that the AI is using or whatnot. The impact of more diversity in sports. So we talked about like the way that there's more diversity going into sports, but why it's important is that, for one, performance will improve as the best of the best will get the job regardless of their race, gender, or sexuality. And the other point is there would be more financial growth in the sport as sports organizations can reach new fan bases and attract more diverse sponsors. An example of this is like Giannis going overseas to Greece, as that's where he's from, that's where he grew up, and like he can help to get more people in Greece to pay attention to American basketball, which creates a fan base for them, which generates money, but can also help to lead those people to want to get jobs in sports, which further increases the diversity. To summarize, society is shifting to a culture that wants more representation in sports, new technology, more demand from society, and more laws and regulations will help to get that more diversity. There will be the biggest issues that will be faced with this more diversity will be resistance to the more diversity, problems with technology, and stuff like tokenism. The impact of more representation, though, is worth working through the problems. So that is my presentation on the future of diversity in sports for the Diversity in Sports online class. My name is Jonathan Oaks. Thank you.